Right, let's get started. Here we go. Hello and good afternoon. It's Watch Along Leeds, and you're watching this episode of Talk Leeds. Joining me today, we've got Robbo. Robbo, just tell us your channel name.
It's Peacock Whites of LUFC.
Peacock Whites of LUFC, and then over on that side is
Stuart from the Sable team. How are you doing, guys? Are you all right?
Yeah, we're all right. We're all good.
Yeah, good.
Quite good. All nice to see you all there and joining us and stuff. So we're going to get started. Quite a bit to discuss. Starting with Swansea. A couple of things and whatever we discussed and saw there, just recapping on that. Then we're going to go into press conference, talk some business about the press conference, and looking ahead to tomorrow's game against Middlesbrough, another massive game. Let's get started.
Watch Along Leeds, shorts, live, and watch along with me, Leeds United, because we all love Leeds.
There we go. So we're talking now a little bit about the Swansea match, and I don't know about you, but when we look at the stats and stuff like that, another day of, was it missed opportunities? Is 3-1 a flattering scoreline, or is it a lucky? Is it a lucky scoreline because we went behind, and it was another chaotic? Well, I think, if I remember rightly, it's the most chaotic opening to a match I think I've ever seen. Robbo, I'll start with you. What did you think to that match? Robbo, are you there? Oh, I think we've lost. Oh no, hang on, just a minute. We've got Robbo coming back. Robbo's got a twin, and the twins disappeared.
Yeah, it just kicked me out again. I don't know. I think it's because I can't see the chat on the bottom, and I tried to again press the chat button, and it's just kicked me out. So
yeah,
I've no idea what's going on.
Is it if you're using your phone, you definitely need it charger plugged in. Go on, Rob, off you go then. Tell us a bit about that Swansea match. What did you make of it?
To be fair, I mean the first goal that went in, I mean I was a bit of humming and hawing about the offside, but looking back at it, yeah, it was just slightly offside. And then obviously Swansea capitalised on that. Me personally, I thought Meslier coming off his line, knowing that there was going forward, straight outside the box, they knew where he was, chipped him straight away. I mean, it's a gift for any striker or midfielder. And obviously, a few minutes later, we come back and make it 1-1. But after that, I think it kind of like dropped off a little bit. So it was like you don't know who was going to get the next goal. So
it just seemed to be so frantic. Yeah, all right, Jess. By the way, Jess is just joining us.
Hi, Gary.
Yeah, Jess.
Yeah, we're all right, thanks. What did you make of that Swansea game, Jess? Go on, off you go. Your thoughts?
I think overall it was a little bit disappointing because we could have had at least 3 or 4 more. I think the first half we were very sluggish in midfield. I think Kamara and Ampadu were both overrun a little bit by Swansea. They split the midfield and made it quite hard work. I think that second goal just before half time really calmed the nerves, and I think second half we were brilliant, but we can't keep starting like that in games because teams will punish us. They're starting to find us out. I think we really need to start kicking on now, and 3 points are a must tomorrow, but I do believe it's going to be a very hard game.
When I was watching it, I mean, we'll talk about that Dan James goal. Because we didn't have the benefit of any kind of replay, and I've not managed to see any highlight. Was it an offside? Was it a clear offside? Did any of you get a replay? Could any of you agree or disagree with the linesman on that one?
I personally think he was just offside.
Right. Okay.
I think so too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think so too. I think, look, the difficulty Championship, Scott, is they haven't got the the added guarantee of VAR. So that whatever decision they make, that's it. It's the final decision. They haven't got no added insurance like the Premier League has. And it did look offside, and if it looks offside, you've got to give it as offside. You've got to give it as offside because that's what it looked like it was.
Yeah, I completely agree. You know, sometimes they're easier to spot than others, aren't there? And then other times, and I was watching a demonstration about like camera angles, and it was just a guy with like a green tabletop, and he'd drawn the lines on, the chalk lines. And what he showed was, just using a mobile phone, like, this is where the ball is now. It looks like it's in, doesn't it? But if you turn the camera and look at it at different angles, and he's there just swinging it around, he said that the actual perception and the actual decision does actually change. And it was just a simple experiment. And I was like, Christ almighty, it just shows that these things aren't always as straightforward. And I mean, I do have a bit of sympathy with these officials at VAR because, whatever happens, someone's going to be upset, aren't there? Whoever it is that concedes the goal or the penalty or whatever. You're going to have a bunch of people who are getting upset, who are irate about whatever. There's always a bit of biasness and stuff involved. But I think, Stu, we mentioned it, didn't you? He said during watch along, we said something along the lines of VAR should just be for this and this. I said, but
onside.
Straight onside and offside. But even then, we're seeing decisions that are inaccurate. And I think it's just about training, isn't it? When these guys who are operating the equipment, guys and girls operating the equipment, and their knowledge of the game and determination of the rules is can be called into question a bit, can't it? But anyway, I mean, moving on. So it was offside. We could have had a few more goals. That goal. I mean, what's going on with Meslier then? We'll go with Robbo on this one. You picked up on Meslier coming off the line.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's when he comes one-on-one, or when somebody's coming at him, I think he's starting to get a bit weary. He's not understanding like how far either out of his goal line he is, or or how far it can be chipped. I think it's just, I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, to be fair.
Yeah, Jess. Any thoughts on that first goal?
Yeah, it was a strange one for him to come out as far as he did, knowing what he's leaving wide open.
Yeah.
For me personally, I think he should have stayed where he was. I'm not saying he'd have saved that, but I'm saying he made it a lot easier by coming out as quick as he did.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you think if you're a goalkeeper and if you're going to come out, you've got to make sure you get to that ball first. Otherwise, what's the point of coming out?
I agree.
If you're not, because he were never going to get to that ball in a million years anyway. Even if he did rush all the way out and close it down, because he were caught in no man's land, and I think that's the problem. Mm-hmm. He's so used to coming out.
Yeah.
He seems to do it quite a lot now. He just seems to come, he just strolls out. I mean, look, I know I'm going back to last season, but look at that Everton goal.
Yeah, God, the Leighton Baines goal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's got form for doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in that situation, then, what should his positioning actually be? Do you think? On goal line.
Yeah. I mean, me personally, I think if he'd obviously stayed on the goal line, or at least halfway through the six-yard box, made himself big. He may have saved it, he may not have saved it. I mean, that's the chance you've got to take. But when you come out as far as he has done, giving the striker or the midfielder that opportunity to go, goal mouths open, there you go.
I think, I mean, in my opinion, something like that, probably somewhere between penalty spot and six yard line, and then at least he's got that chance to commit if there's a miss, if he's not going to, it just makes the striker think that it's going to be a little bit difficult getting a lob in here because he's a bit closer to goal. I'm going to have to take him on, with a hard driven shot, or and I think when it comes to keepers coming out, who is the best keeper of all time, do you think, coming out and blocking one-on-ones like that?
Schmeichel.
Yeah.
Schmeichel.
Robbo?
Yeah, I agree with Stu. Schmeichel. You could see he does it now all the time, and it's looking back, obviously, on previous videos. Yeah, 100%.
100%, yeah. Jess, best ever keeper? Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
all round, all round. I couldn't disagree because I mean I was thinking about that, and I'm thinking, how would Peter Schmeichel have handled that? What would he have done? And or I mean, he's never worn a Leeds shirt in his life, has he? But
he would have given his defenders the roasting for letting that player have so much space to be able to do that.
Yeah. I think the point is if he's inside his area. A little bit deeper, it just gives the defender that fraction of a second more to get a leg in, or just try and knock the attacker off balance, or whatever. And then suddenly, what was a fine lob gets blasted into the roof at stand, or goes wide, or whatever. And I mean, I think it's like anything, isn't it? Everybody will say, "Well, he's young, he's learning, and he's this and he's that." And overall, I mean, I can't recall he had very much to do during that match. But the stats, when you look, I mean, everybody says, "Well, games out won on." Well, I mean, the stats sort of tell the stories, don't they? And we can sort of gather a bit of information about what went on. And looking back, when I can load the thing up, StreamYard. Honestly, sometimes it gives me nightmares. Here we go. I mean, I've been out. Right, here we go. Can we see that chat? Is it? There we go. It's coming up now. I think it's displaying. Is that displaying all right, Stu? Or do I need to zoom out a bit?
There, that's better.
That's better. So yeah, I mean, we've got the 3-1 here. 2.77 was the Leeds expected goal threat. Accurate, isn't it? 18 shots versus 10 for Swansea. Is that too high?
Not for a championship game, I wouldn't have thought, no.
No, right, okay. And then we've got XG per shot, 0.05 for Swansea, 0.15 for us. GOT 2.7, threat level, that Leeds threat level's way ahead. Possession. What do you think? Are you surprised by the possession stat?
Yeah.
Normally, we would expect to have a bit more possession than the away team, and I thought that during the game, they had a couple of good spells, didn't they? Quite prolonged, where we just seemed to sit off a little bit, and me and Stu were just sat there like, how can we have such a frantic opening 5 minutes and then everything goes a bit like it just went flat, didn't it?
Yeah. Gary, apologies, I'm going to have to shoot off. I've got to go pick the little one up, but thanks for inviting me on. I will be on next time when you invite us, but much appreciated.
All right,
nice to meet you, Jess.
Nice to meet you.
I'll catch you in a bit, guys.
As you're leaving, Robbo, if you can just put your handle, so you put the or in the live stream, put your handle. So that's the @ symbol and then your channel name. So join the chat in YouTube, and then people know where to find you. And then It just makes it a bit easier for us then. I can copy and paste it straight into description as well. It makes it a bit easier for me. All right, mate. All the best. Have a good day, and I'll catch you soon.
Happy days,
See
mate.
you,
No
Robbo.
problem. Cheers, guys.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.
So Dan James is top performer in this match versus Patterson. I mean, he had quite a bit of ball, didn't he? Patterson. I remember him getting all that ball on a few occasions. Somerville, not so much, but the expected threat timeline. It's all Leeds. It's all Leeds. Is that huge threats? Obviously in the opening sort of, I think that's probably 20 minutes, 25 minutes, then Swansea take over a little bit, and then going in just before that, was it Ampadu who got the second goal? Was it James?
Rutte.
Long ball from Ampadu.
I mean,
great finish.
Oh, that ball over top, and you look at it again and just see how Rutte watches it come down and just pulls it out of air, controls it, instant control, and it's like a couple of touch, and he just pops it in, doesn't he? Beats the keeper, but I think Merson described it as almost Bergkamp-esque, is what I've heard. So fantastic bit of play from Leeds. We're not going to run through all of these, but overall, passes and stuff like that, Somerville did quite well. Pirou, was he involved as much as you'd like, or is the jury still out?
I think that was his best game for Leeds on Wednesday night.
Yeah, I think he was more involved, more impressed.
He pressed a lot better. He worked hard. And I see a real. If you can play like that, and I know he scored 7 goals, and yeah, you're always as a striker put on what goals you score, but there's a little bit more to add to that, and I think he brought that on Wednesday and showed that he does offer that little bit different, and he can work hard. And for me, that was probably his best game. I gave him man at match, me personally.
Yeah, that's a big call. A big
he
call.
Put some effort in. He really did put effort in.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most I've seen him run.
Yes.
In the game.
Yeah, me.
It's the most I've seen him run in the game, in a single game. I think that's the most he's ever run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if we could get some like player stats and stuff like that to see what distances were that were covered. I don't think we've got access to that with this facility, but it's certainly something that we're looking into. Stu and I are always looking at ways to try and improve the stuff that we're doing, and I think sometimes with some players, that when we talk about distances run and running and all that sort of thing, is it a case of some players make it look easy? They actually cover far more distance than you think.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
is it, or but actually you think, oh, he's a lazy so and so, and I seem to think like Chapman and Brian Dean and Cantona were similar sort of players. They used to just look like they glided over turf, didn't break into a sweat. But actually, when you look back at it, they probably cover a little bit more ground than you think during a game. So there we go. Those are the stats. A good win, 3 points, 3 goals. I think my only thing is I think when that Swansea goal went in, we were probably caught a bit cold.
Mm-hmm.
We were looking for an offside. We were, I think, disputing that James goal, and I don't think they were ready. And Swansea knew that if we play a quick one over at top here, we've got a chance. And I think they just caught us out. Simple as that. But disappointing not to have a clean sheet. But anyway. There we go. Right, well, we'll move on to the next segment then, which is... Oh, God, I need to get rid of that banner, don't I? Heck. Stu, are you all right doing chat just while I saw that banner?
Yeah, mate, I'll quickly go through chat. Leeds Angels MOT. Kate, hi, everyone. Hope you're doing well, Kate, love. Do you think we will win on Saturday? Question for all of us to answer, I guess. We'll answer that when end of your preview, Gary.
Yeah, we're coming up to that. That's going to be next segment after the press
When they win the
conference.
championship, again, we might come back to that one as well, Kit. Might come back to that one as well. I guys. Glad we still got a full squad apart from Purple and Geltard out. We'll talk about that. In training here, is it running too much the other night? Hope we get well soon, Adam. Fingers crossed for Saturday. And finally, that's Gary's handle, whatever you call it.
Robbo's. It's Robbo's handle. So yeah,
Robbo's handle. That's it.
If you ought to catch Robbo on his channel, that's how you get to it. Regularly puts videos out and stuff like that. He's in army, so he's a bit busy at the minute. I think he's struggling to find time like the rest of us. Jess, did you manage to catch Eddie at press conference today?
Yeah, I watched a fair bit of it today.
What did you make of it?
Well, Furpo injured again. It's a bit like, that's him out now for bulk of December, looking probably at New Year, him coming back now. I totally get what he's saying about Liam Cooper and Ayling and Dallas, the impact they have on the younger players in the squad, which I was only saying that yesterday on Kate's show, to be honest. I think that were a point. I think he's right what he's saying about his front four that can score.
Yeah.
I think hoping his defenders are going to start chipping in with a few more goals. So I think his press conference were all right. I think other than Firpo being injured, it now dictates that Leeds need to go out and buy a left back in January for me because he's too injury prone.
And I mean, Byram's had an injury or two, hasn't he? Yeah. I think in this so far this season.
That worries me to start with Byram because didn't Daniel Farker say that Byram can't play 3 games in a week?
Yeah,
that's what he's going to have to do.
Yeah.
As from next Saturday when we play, we've got like 3 games in like 8 days, and I just hope and pray that we have Byram fit. I mean, Danny Romsey brought it up in comment section, saying that we had Shackleton. Now, the problem I've got with Shackleton is, yes, he can do a job, but for me, he's inconsistent. Is Shackleton? He's got to be what's the word I'm looking for? He's got to have a consistent run of game.
Yeah.
You can't just pick him for a game and then shop him for a game and then pick him because he just doesn't seem. He needs that run of consistent games.
Yeah.
To keep up with pace and everything. And that's what I'm worried about with this left back situation, Jess. I really am.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
I mean, I don't know if you've been looking into transfer market or transfers, but are there any names that have cropped up that you'd like to see Farker try and sign?
It'll be difficult.
Sorry, go with you.
I think it's going to be difficult, Jess, especially January. It's always hardest time to get a deal. No club's going to sell you their best player in January.
They're at a premium, aren't the prices, because it's January as well. You're looking at maybe 2 loan signings and maybe a couple going out of Leeds. But who do you see Leeds bringing in as a left back?
Well, this is it. I mean, just thinking off the top of your head that. There's not anybody that immediately sticks out, and you think, well, he'd look good in a Leeds shirt, and he could do this job, and he'd be good cover for us, etc. But I think we're probably going to see a little bit more of that as well. You're always sort of looking for maybe players who are maybe a little bit disgruntled or. Something's gone on, but I mean, we had the Cody drama saga at the beginning of the year. He's pressing Farker for he wants more minutes and stuff like that, and I can't remember what we did with drama. Have we shipped him out on loan, or is he?
Did we sell him?
Did we sell him?
I think we sold him.
I thought we sold him. Yeah, and then there was that other one, the Leif Davis. I mean. Unless there's somebody in under 21s that we don't sort of know about, immediately at the moment, nobody sort of springs to mind. But I were also thinking about Farker's post-match comments. about Ayling, and I mean, I'm not so sure if he caught up what he actually said. I think he was asked about why is Ayling not on the bench. Can anybody remember what his response was to that? Because I thought, well, that sounds like it's the end of Ayling. Jess?
No, I didn't, mate. I didn't catch. I think I catched the Swansea manager's press, which was. Have you watched back Swansea's manager's press conference?
No.
I heard him say something along the lines of, "It's really difficult. I mean, they were always going to win because I mean they're pulling an Italian international off the bench," and he sounded a bit.
He's got the last 3-1. To be honest, we should be quite happy with that performance. I don't think fans were in the same opinion, if I'm honest.
No. It's difficult, isn't it? I mean, it's funny here. I'm just trying to look for Farker's comments about after the game because he said something about Ayling, and I thought, well, that's not. I don't know. I don't know if it was made. You see, sometimes you don't know. There's that much stuff published these days. You just don't know what to believe and what not to believe. But it sounds to me like he said something about it was a difficult decision, the most difficult decision he's had to make, leaving Luke Ayling out because he knows that Luke Ayling wants to have a part or play a part in the season. And to me, it just sounded as almost as like he's not going to fit in the side anymore, and he ain't going to get a spot on the bench, and perhaps he's on his way out the door in January. But there are rumours swirling that Bamford could be on the way out in January as well. I don't see Cooper leaving. Do you, Stu?
No, I don't. So I don't. No, not. I mean, look. I don't like bashing players when they're down. I really don't. But
no.
I think at some point we have to move on. We have to start looking at the future of Leeds United and not. Do you know what I mean, Jess?
Yes, I do. It's the old guard, innit? It's those players that we won a few years ago with, and there's that reputation that goes with, and I get that. But I think it's maybe time to either move them on or move them into a role at Leeds backstage, because I think they've had the time. Ayling, Cooper, Dallas. Dallas is still injured and he's just working his way back. Do you want to go into Premiership with those players still on contracts? It's hard,
no,
but it's true.
I would have said no. I would have said no, definitely.
I agree.
It's sad and it's hard, but time moves on, doesn't it? And it's like anything else. I think you know we all know that footballers hit a peak, and once they've passed that peak, you know it's very difficult, if not impossible, to find that peak 3 or 4 years later. And I think that's the case with Patrick Bamford. You know, Ayling as well. And
we tried that sentimental approach and it got us relegated.
I agree, Stu.
Yeah. Well, there was that, and the half a dozen managers and players coming in out of the players coming in because they had a half decent World Cup, and I've seen, but you see, we all said the same about Rutte last season, didn't we? We were like, who is this guy? What is it? And why is he 35 million? And we just weren't. But you see, I think all of the upset, and I think it's like we've gone through a time of huge change at all levels at the club, haven't we? And you know that's probably filtered down in some way or another. So it sounds to me like Ayling's not in favour. Dallas training on his own, and
say
say again.
I don't think we'll see Dallas at all this season.
Me neither.
No. I mean, we've spoken about this way in the past and the injury that he's had. you know, for that kind of injury, the recovery on average should be about 2 years. Dallas has been out nearly a year, is it? I think over a year.
Just over a year, isn't it? Just over a year.
Just over a year, is it? Was it against Manchester? It was against Manchester City, wasn't it? Was it Man City?
Yeah.
Because I were at that game, 28th of December last season, and I remember it, and I'm like, that looks pretty bad. You know, it was pretty bad, and you know, you just wish him well, don't you? And just hope that he comes back, and if he does come back, you know, if he ain't going to find a spot in the team, that there's somewhere out there that's going to take him. So there we go. I think Stu said that was right. Shared goals. Most important that we have to be better because we're not predictable, or we're less predictable. He wants us to be less predictable. Keeping players happy is difficult. We have to be honest. It's not possible to keep everybody happy. But we have to be open and honest. And he said that they are disappointed. You know, like anything else, when you don't get the rub of the green, you become disappointed. And but if they want a shot in the starting 11 or even on the subs bench, they have to train well, and they have to compete, show leadership. And one of the things that he said is no excuses. They can't be giving any excuses. They have to be open and honest and be direct, and be responsible as well to themselves. Ayling is 32-year-old. He's always right, even if he's wrong, versus a 19-year-old. And then obviously, if there is a discussion and there is a disagreement, it can be sorted out later on. No regrets about Sam Greenwood. That's an interesting one. So is Sam Greenwood? I don't think we've got the parent. I don't think we've got the parent clause in the contract, Stu.
Well, I don't think he can. I don't think he's playing for us. According to Middlesbrough reports, he's not playing.
Yeah.
He can't play. He can't play against his parent club. That's what they've said anyway.
Well, I don't know if I misinterpreted what Farker was saying, but he said he's playing well and he's full of potential. He was talking about, you know, his season, but he said something about, you know, he could be starting for them, but I don't know if he's aware of that parental clause in the contract, parent club, that he can't play a parent club. I'm sure Leeds United have put that clause in the contract, and if they haven't, I'll be surprised at that. You know, I can't honestly see that that's the case. He is one of the best free kick takers. He's had 8 starts, and he's you know, Middlesbrough's probably suited him. He felt that the level of competition was probably a bit too much for Sam. Probably, you know, he's way down the pecking order, and a loan move is a good move for him.
It's a good move for us as well. You know. It's a good move for us as well. If he's scoring his worldy free kicks against the likes of Viglic and Leicester, it's doing Lee a favour, isn't it? Because if he's getting a point for Middlesbrough against Leicester and Ipswich, it's doing us a favour.
He actually alluded to that, did Farker? He said that, you know, he said something along those lines, right at the end of his comments, that, you know, it's actually working out in our favour having him out on loan at another club, and it could be a good thing over the long term. Agent Sam Greenwood, folks.
But again, Terry, right? If you can't get, this is what I'm a bit concerned with. These players that we've let out go out on loan, if they can't break into Leeds United in Championship, what chances have we got of breaking into Leeds United in Premiership?
Jess, go ahead, answer that one.
I agree. If they're not good to play now, Premier League's a different level. They're not going to be playing there. And what does worry me about a lot of these players that are out on loan is they're not doing very well abroad where they are.
No.
What happens next year if players don't get contract offers come in, and we end up stuck with a lot of those players. That does worry me. It really does worry me. I think Christian at Roma is doing nothing. They don't like him.
Christensen.
I don't think Aronson's having a good time of it neither.
No, and you worry that
Aronson.
Yeah, Aronson. You look at him and you think, June, are we going to be saddled with these players in Premiership? Because that really is a worry.
Well,
None of them
it's like
to come back. None of them deserve to play for Leeds United again. They didn't do it the first time round. Why would we give you a chance to do it the second time round? You've been disloyal. You look at him, who's gone to Everton, and you think they aren't going to be able to afford. Yeah, they're not going to be able to afford to keep him now. They've got that point to then they could get relegated still. Would you want to see him back in a Leeds shirt?
Well, I don't know. Personally, I don't know. And I don't think. I mean, even the likes of Sinistera, yes, he's a good player.
I agree.
Do I want to see him back at Leeds United again? No, not even if he got 10 goals in next second half of the season. I won't want him back because of how he treated us.
I agree.
Yeah.
No loyalty.
Yeah. There's loyalty and then threatening to sue the club in there over dodgy contract clauses that were implemented. I mean, it's like the Willie Nonto thing. I mean, there's normally some sort of procedure that if you want to leave, you've got to file something called a transfer request.
Yeah.
So you're pretty much writing into the club, that whoever it is, the HR, the chair, the board of directors, telling them that you want to leave. I mean, the Nonto saga, it doesn't sound like any of that happened. It was just some agent going around waving bits of paper and post-it notes and trying to get him offloaded to Everton, and Everton couldn't get him, so they went for Harrison instead, and then still continued to trying to get Wilfred Nonto. But I mean, if you're Wilfred Nonto, would you really, really want to go to Everton right now? And same with Jack Harrison. I don't know what they're thinking about. I really don't.
No,
He gets full wage at Everton, doesn't he? He doesn't get that 50% deduction, does he? He gets his full wage at Everton, doesn't he? It's all about money, isn't it?
It is to some players, yeah. Some players are loyal, and then you look at some players. I mean, you can say what you want about Willie. I know what happened with Willie, but he's still stayed, and he's still, even if he goes in January, has give you another half a season. Whereas I understand Sinistera going to a European club that will play in European football or something, but to go to Bournemouth and he's done absolutely nothing at Bournemouth is worrying.
I think he's got one goal, hasn't he? He's not.
And Man City, that one, I'm sure it was.
Yeah, I mean, we've got the better end of the deal there, I think, with that Jadon Anthony. He's been very impressive.
Though, Gary, do you think he's Premier League quality of what you've seen of him?
Who's this, sorry?
Jadon Anthony? Or don't you think he's been given a chance?
I don't think he's been given a chance, personally.
No, I think we're going to see more of him, Stu. I think I like what I've seen of him so far, and I think it's like else. I mean, Dan James, he was nearly written off.
Mm-hmm.
And look how now he's getting a good run inside. He's doing well. I've always liked Dan James, but you see there was that Clark fella, Jack Clark?
Jack Clark,
yeah.
I liked him, and he was an Andy player, but never got a run in first team. Then I know you're going Kate's. Sometime and one that keeps getting mentioned, Leaf. Is it Leaf Davis?
Davis got a big mistake getting rid of Leaf.
And I think we made a mistake there. What position does he play?
Left back.
What do we need?
A left back.
It makes you wonder. Could you play Archie Gray at left back? Because he seems to get himself about. I mean, if it were going, if you're going to put Shaq there, what about Archie Gray? Do you not think he could do a job at left back?
I think he probably could, but I mean, whether he probably want to or not is a different question, isn't it?
I think he would want to, because I think he's a kind of lad that, because of the Leeds family around him, his granddad and his dad, I think he would give 150%. And I mean, if you looked at him on Wednesday, the maturity of that guy to check shoulders, check back, looking round him, spreading that ball for a 17-year-old lad, he was absolutely outstanding.
Oh, he's unbelievable at the minute, isn't
he? Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about Archie Gray, do you know what I was thinking? He got injured against Brisbane Raw. Matty Cash, believe it or not, took him out, remember? And he were out for a full season. I'm wondering, could he have cut it last season in Premier League? I think he could have done.
Who's this was talking about? Archie, wasn't it John McGinn? It was John McGinn that took it.
Was it John McGinn or Matty Cash?
It was McGinn because it was a game against Perth.
Yes,
I think.
Yes, it was. He yacked him down, didn't he? It was a dirty one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it were a real bad one. I mean, Perth's like 3 hours away from where I am. I'd love to, but the budget to get to bloody Australia, then you've got to get the visas and all that sort of stuff. It's not easy. So I give that one a miss.
Kieran, who comes on our channel, he lives in Australia. Kieran, he went to watch Leeds v Brisbane. That's where I'm getting the Brisbane from. With him living there, and he loved it. He said Leeds, because he said that actually he looked a talent.
Yeah.
And then he ended up losing the game after.
I know. He'd have done really well for us in Premier League, I'm sure.
I think so.
I don't know if Robbo's, it's like anything else in it. You're in and out and stuff because you're busy, mate. It's no problem. If we don't go up this season, we'll be stuck in the champion like the Swans.
I've got a bit more confidence that we wouldn't be, because I think next season, now that the 49ers have got the feet under the table, now I don't think we will be. I think they'd spend, regardless of what division we're going to be in. I think they'll spend money anyway. I would have been worried if it were any other, if it were Radzali or someone, but not with 49ers. I don't think they can't afford to have us in Championship for too long. Their investors want us in Premier League.
Yeah. So Leeds Angels MOT. Jess knows her football. I think this one is, which is absolutely 100% true, Jess, because I've seen you on Leeds Birds Rants and a couple of other channels. So I keep going around the channels and stuff like that. It's not. But this girl, I think this person here, I think the name's Kate. This isn't Leeds Bird Rant, is it? With another channel name, is it? No. I mean, I don't know. So I know some stuff, but I don't know everything. I do. Hang on a minute. If we don't, what does that say there? Hang on. If we don't go, we look. I think, and I've been a bit bold with prediction, but we'll get on to that in a minute. Liverpool Middlesbrough game then. So let's get. I think we better get on with that. We'll be here all night. Where the hell is it? Well, let me just Stu. Any thoughts about this Leeds Middlesbrough match? While I just load up the.
I think it's going to be a different type of game against Middlesbrough. I think Middlesbrough are a better side than Swansea. I think it's going to be a more tougher match, but they have got injury problems.
Right. What do we know much about those injury problems at this stage? Also?
I will find out for you now. I will find out now for you.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's have a little look, and we'll just see what we can see. Sorry about this, chat. We're just trying to load up everything, and you've got about 50 million windows open. All that sort of stuff. As do I, Gary, says Havinder. Football, yes, I know you know football, Havinder, don't you worry, mate. We know about that. So let's have a little look.
The two sweating about is Fry and Hackney.
Fry and Hackney are the ones that are missing. Right, okay, so I don't know. Can we see?
Obviously, Greenwood.
Yeah. So there we go. Likely to play 4-2-3-1. Pass network at XT heat maps. XT's the expected threat level, so it's looking like they're going to be quite active in our 18-yard box.
Yeah.
Where are the Middlesbrough in league at the moment? It does tell me on here somewhere, doesn't it? But I don't know if I'm reading it right.
I'll find out.
Yeah, find out. And then counters. Yeah, I think we're it's Leeds in blue here, of course. Quite ahead, 16. Field tilt 59, 57 for them, so quite well matched in that aspect. Set pieces, Leeds are a little bit ahead, and going into the GPI, GPE, passes and dribbles, Leeds are doing all right there as well. We should be quite ahead. Crooks, Lath, and Jones, Stu, are the three big threats from open play, non-penalty expected threat. Of course, we've got Somerville, Pirot, and Rutter, 6, 6, and 5 on that one.
I think you can comfortably add Dan James to that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dan James is probably 5.51. What we got there then? This is Leeds, isn't it? Expected goals. So the XG created, we're quite a way. We look to be more consistent, I think, than Middlesbrough in these three games here.
Their goal difference is +3. Our goal difference is +13.
Yeah, so we're a little bit ahead of them in scoring front as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they've won 7 out of the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 out of the last 10. Losing 2, drawing 1, and we're doing excellent at home, aren't we? I think. Am I right in saying that Farkas, we've equalled a record set by Don Revy to be unbeaten in 10 home fixtures?
Since 73, 74.
Is that correct? I mean,
Yeah,
that is some record, is that? And apparently, that season,
league title.
we won the title.
Yeah.
So, I've read up. I've spent a lot of time trying to read all these things going around. I don't know. I mean, I think Stu's right. It's going to be a tight game. Where do you see this going, Jess?
I think this will be a tight game as well, mate. To be honest, I can either see a shady 1 or 2-0 or a 1-1 draw. I think Middlesbrough. Preston will be doing really well, and they smashed them 4-0 on Tuesday night. Did Middlesbrough?
Yeah.
Started off so poor, and everybody were calling for Carrick's head, but they put a nice little run together, and they could be ones to watch. Middlesbrough. I won't rest on my laurels against Middlesbrough. We need to be on it.
Well, weren't we looking at Carrick at one point?
Yeah, I think we were.
Yeah. I mean, it's turned out to be a decent signing for him, that, hasn't it? So let's hear it then, Stu. Where are you at with this match? Jesse's saying 1-0 or 1-1.
Yeah, I think it's going to be close. Gary. I think the thing what I'm hoping will help us is being at home. With Ellen Rowe crowd behind them. But I said in preview, my heart, I want to say 2-1 win, but I do think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. I said it in chat in the press conference with Danny.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a higher scoring game than that. I think just looking at these players that they've got, the overall, the overall attacking threat that they have, I think I'm probably going to go 4-2 Leeds. 4-2, and I did get the Swansea prediction right, didn't I, Stu?
Yeah.
3-1. I got that one spot on. So I
might have a quid on you. I might have a quid on your 4-2 bet and see what it does.
I'll tell you what. It's about bloody time I got one prediction right, because it's been a long time since I got a prediction right. I think I had a spell where I was getting a bit excited and oh, we're gonna absolutely thrash this lot. Sheffield Wednesday 6-0, mate. No chance. Oh dear! Look at that.
You said that.
well, I think everybody said about that Rotherham, didn't we?
Mhm.
But I said that could be a banana skin for us. I said, I think it's going to be a tight one. Oh
This
yeah,
could be a banana.
yeah,
No game. No. The one thing I've learned in this league, and it's a stark reality that no game's a formality.
yeah. I also think it's about taking the chances, isn't it, and working the keeper. You know, we've drawn conclusions
Too
about
many.
shots versus shots on target, and the ratios have been, you know, really really poor at times. You know, missed opportunities, and you know, you just think that there is still that component in the Leeds game that, you know, we might have 10 chances and we might only get 3 of them on bloody target. And you're just thinking, you know, a keeper only had to do something on one of those shots. Anything, I mean, it's just, I think that's the beauty of it at the minute. It's just so, you know, it's exciting.
It's wide open. You look that we're only 8 behind Leicester, 7 behind Ipswich. It's just open and it's nice. It's exciting because you think we could be sat in second place come January, and that's what we all hope.
Yeah, I think it could probably be. Well, yeah, I mean, I hope it would be probably sooner.
Look at Leicester the other day. You'd have thought they're going to Chef Wednesday. They're going to absolutely hammer Chef Wednesday. What happens? I will do us a favour. 1-1 draw, 2 points draw.
Well, I mean, I said that to Stu. I said, you know, during that watch along, I said, I've got a funny feeling about this Sheffield Wednesday game.
They turn up against certain teams, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, they turn up against Leeds. They give us a bit. Not, I wouldn't say they give us a game because they made it an awful game. It were played on their terms, and they did it against Leicester.
A difficult side to break down, and they nicked one in 93rd minute, I think, didn't they? Absolute madness, but it's so tight. Is this leave Bamford at home? Havinda says, Jess, can you tell us a bit about your YouTube channel and channel name? Because I went on there, I think it's your son.
So me, I don't personally do a YouTube channel. I started out on Kate's just doing a final whistle and bits and pieces, and I've just been getting myself about a bit, mate, just giving my own opinion, because I think sometimes it's a lot of males that talk football, and there's not very many women that are confident to jump on and talk football. And I love my football. I've played women's football. I love my football. Whatever team, football's always on in this house. I follow Leeds. My son follows Liverpool. I follow Liverpool. Follow Leeds as well. I just like talking football. Don't have a channel. Don't have an agenda, but I don't mind coming on to people's podcasts and just giving my own view.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to have you on it. Absolutely, it's great to have, people who enjoy talking about football, and I think that's perhaps the best thing, isn't it, Stu?
100%, be a female, young or old, it doesn't matter, does it? It shouldn't matter anyway. It shouldn't matter.
No, absolutely not. No. So there we go. Chat, a lot to stick with Jess. So it's not her channel, Avinda, because I mean, I know I was going through a channel and I was like, hang on a minute, it's the son, and I mean, I
still subscribe to it though.
So Havinda subscribes to it, so that's all right.
I am thinking of setting my own up. Maybe like me and a friend are looking at setting one up maybe after Christmas, just doing our point of view. Another friend of mine that's just doing a women's point of view, and we're going to go ahead after Christmas and do that. So, but I like to jump on and help other people as well, because I just like to give an opinion. I'm just a fan like everybody else, but it's just different, and it helps you guys and it helps myself for my confidence. So I'm quite happy.
Oh, it helps us tremendously, because I think number one, finding people who are able to do it, who are wanting to do it, who enjoy doing it. That's 90% of the battle, I think. You know, when you're going on to Kate's channel, I mean, she and I started about the same time, and I mean the progress that she's made on that channel is absolutely phenomenal. You know, it's exploding. It's and she's very well liked in the community, I think, and she's got a great community over there. I go in every if I can, because it's work hours for me when she does her morning breakfast show, and I think like this, just people don't realise, and Stu will tell you, the amount of work she puts into it is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. The time and the hours and the dedication, it takes a lot. So I mean, we could talk about that later on when we end this podcast. So that was it, folks. It's the Middlesbrough roundup is done. I think we're all hoping for a win. Stu and Jess are saying it's going to be a narrow one. I think it's going to be a high scoring one. It could be a crazy one. And there we go. Just a second. Has that played?
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
you're back.
I'm back. Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't show on my screen when it plays, but anyway. I think what we'll do is we'll end the podcast here, end the show here, and I'd like to thank Jess for joining us again. Robbo, of course, is in and out, and Stu. So, that's it for today, folks. Let's all hope we can march on tomorrow, get 3 points against Middlesbrough. I'll leave a recommendation up here from my channel and a sub button over there for your convenience. It's a goodbye from me.
It's a goodbye from me.
Take
Thanks
care,
very
everybody.
much for watching. Take care, and we'll see you all very, very soon. Just stay there, Jess, and we can show you some.
Watch along Leeds, shorts, live, and watch along with me.
Is that running?
Leeds United, because we all love
Doing the same
Leeds.
thing again.